everybody, my name's Nicola and welcome back to my channel. This is the Frugal Cottage, where we talk all things money to help you on your financial journey. It's halfway through February, so I thought I would do a Frugal February update for you and ask how you're getting on with that. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and let's get started. And also happy Valentine's Day if it's something that you celebrate, and happy Sunday if not. But today is halfway through February this year. And if you join me at the start of the month in a Frugal February month, then we have made it to the halfway point of that challenge. So I thought I would do a bit of an update on how I feel about things, how I'm finding things, what's going well, what maybe could be going better. And then hopefully you'll join me in the conversation in the comments about how you are finding the month so far. So when I filmed that original video, and I'll leave a link below to that in the comments below, I talked about how I wanted to kind of get back to basics and really kind of step back and look at every kind of single area of our finances, but really kind of take it back to those really small steps that actually make a big difference in the month. And I thought I'd kind of break it down into 3 areas I'm kind of focusing on during the month. So the first one was to kind of track spending like I do every day in my budget planner and look for kind of patterns on spending habits and things like that. Keep tracking my no spend days and kind of just really focus on where our money is actually going. Be mindful of those purchases. So I talked about how I'm finding like impulse purchasing is becoming more of a thing, and it's generally not something that I would do very often, but at the moment I feel like things are such as they are that is becoming more of a temptation. So it's really kind of being mindful about the kind of things I was looking at, consuming, watching, and where my money ended up going. And if you've not done this as an exercise before, if you kind of just track for 1 month where your money goes and what you were feeling like at the time, so kind of mood triggers I suppose, sometimes that can be really eye-opening, because you'll see that on certain days of the month or certain times of the month, or kind of like maybe on a weekend versus a weekday, you might find yourself in certain kind of spending triggers, and it all happens to be on a day where maybe things hadn't gone quite to plan. So it's interesting in that respect to track your spending versus kind of your mood and your overall general day-to-day stuff, if that makes sense. And I've been doing that this month. And I tend to do that anyway, but I'd kind of followed out the habit of being mindful about how I felt the day had gone, and whether I then felt the need to go and spend money. And I was finding more and more that I was buying things I'd seen on Instagram, or that I'd seen on different blogs or different social media sites. And I had definitely assumed that I'd kind of cracked that habit. I went through a period of time quite a while ago where I made the decision to not buy things I'd seen on social media unless I thought that I genuinely needed them, and kind of left time and mulled things over. And then if it kind of came to it and I still wanted that item, then yeah, fine. But it was becoming more obvious that I was just buying things for the sake of buying things to have something arrive in the post, and I don't want to get back in the habit of doing that, because it's so easy, you know, on Amazon to click that one purchase, what was it called, the one click purchase thing, and it just arrives. And I was mindful of that, and that's going really well. I feel like I've got much more back in control of my own spending habits and finances, and hopefully February will reflect that in the end. I feel like I am more mindful of what we already have as versus, oh well, I might be missing out if I don't get that. I feel like this process during Frugal February has definitely helped me to kind of show that. The second thing I wanted to focus on was getting back to the basics of cooking home cooked meals for our family, and not kind of rely on like things that you just shove in the oven that aren't very healthy, all that kind of thing. I'm someone who really enjoys cooking and baking and all that kind of stuff. I like the process of cooking. I like the finding new recipes, like experiment with things, and that had kind of all gone by the wayside, and I don't know why. I think it was just the energy of having to think of more things to do. But I've really tried in February to go back to, again, that back to basics, where back to basics of cooking and making things from scratch and eating things that we enjoy as a family, and not kind of just dismissing something just because I feel like it might be a little bit too much work. Yeah, don't get me wrong, I've not made anything complicated. I made that sound like I've made the world's most complicated dish. I haven't. But I've used my meal planner every week. I've used kind of things I know we enjoy. I've used meals that I know that I find easy. I've used meals that don't take very long but are still really tasty. I've kind of gone back to making sure that I'm not making it into a chore, if that makes sense, and I'm making it into something that I enjoy, and then having that family time at the meal table having that meal on an evening. And again, it makes you feel better. I'm hopefully making them, although I say that like they eat that every time, my children do not eat my food very often. I try my best. I don't make them separate meals from us very often. So I have, in the last kind of 2 weeks, I think I've made 2 meals where it's just been for me and my husband, and then I've made them something different. I generally just cook us all the same thing, because it's easier. I don't want to have the faff of making loads of things, but also I want them to kind of get used to eating meals with us that are the same, and they don't eat them all the time. It's very hit and miss, and one time they might eat something and then I'll make it again in a couple of weeks time and they won't touch it at all. And from a parent's perspective, it's really frustrating. Does anybody else's kids do that? Let me know if they do. That would make me feel so much better. But I'm trying to get them used to eating family meals that are nutritional, they are healthy, they're good for you, they're full of flavour and all that lot. So it has been kind of, it's good. I enjoy cooking. I'm not saying that I'm the world's best cook, I'm not, but you know, it seems to go down well in our household. So I'm looking forward to continuing that in the same way. I've even done some baking recently, which I've not done in a while, and just finding a little new things to do. And we've even kind of cooked ours, so my boys have helped out in some things as well, which they've enjoyed. It's not been the most straightforward experience, but they're learning how to do stuff, so that's okay. So in terms of back to basics with food and meal planning and all that, and actually as a result of that, as I knew it would, our food bill has gone kind of back down to being like £45–50 a week for the 4 of us, rather than kind of the £60–70 a week it was in January. And that's all because I'm buying things I know we'll use. I'm making stuff from scratch. I'm not buying loads of extras, and it does show in every single area there. And the final thing I think to kind of come on, I suppose, is just being more appreciative of what we've got. I feel like at the moment, and everybody I talk to, it's becoming tough. And although there's kind of glimmers of hope in the horizon, if you like, it's tough from day to day. And I think sometimes reflecting on finances and how we are and why we spend stuff and do stuff, there is no precedent at the moment for how that works, because this is for, you know, for all of us. Yes, it's coming up to a year, but apart from that, we've not really experienced anything. And you know, there's no right way or wrong way to deal with what's going on at the moment. But if you look at your finances and kind of take it by day and do your budget and do your plan, and little things that you can have some kind of control over, if you like, or can kind of make a difference in your own life, I think that really does help in the long term. And Frugal February for me has definitely been about that. And I probably will continue to try and focus on the day-to-day going forward. You know, I'll do an end of the month update, I suppose, at the end of the month if you'd like me to. But I think those little steps and kind of just taking that time back will help over the long term anyway. And it's something I've always done. I've just kind of got out of the habit of, if you like. So how are you finding Frugal February so far? We are halfway through. Well done if you're still with me on this journey, and I'm hoping that you're finding it as useful as I have been doing so far. Let me know in the comments below how you're finding things. As always, thank you for watching my videos. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you're not already, and I will see you again very soon.